Hello there, and welcome to the first episode of the second season of The World at War. So, Equal Board has fallen. That's been the conclusion of Season 1. It's been infested by pandas and has been taken down by these. Sadly, I didn't manage to fight them off, and the enemy has eaten us up the inside. What a terrible fate, but Equal Board has successfully founded 4 different hillocks, and they will hopefully hold through. But our next season will abandon these areas because stories have come, and our next expedition leader is going to be too coward and craven to go there. And we are going to build a fortress which has iron and nickel. I've looked up for a composition of either iron and zinc or iron and nickel. And this one, I fell in love with this spot as soon as I saw it. The place here is a desert with a little bit of a brook in the southern end, and I love desert fortresses. The only downside is that we are right next to the human hamlet shower syrups, but we still have something to do with them. So, Season 2, the goals. We will build a fortress that is digging for adamantine, because that's a standard demanding. We're building a fortress that is going to conquer something in the vicinity. I'm looking at you, shower syrups. We're building a fortress that will build something impressive out of iron and steel, because I will always try to build something that is founded of the local stuff. And I want to build a city that has some specifics. And as the last thing that will be making a few of you especially happy, I want to work for the first time with minecarts in this fortress. Yes, I am completely new to this, so it's going to be fun. And yeah, I looked out this spot because it has all the stuff that we need. As far as it stands, it looks like we're going to swim in iron and nickel. We also got flux stone, but we ain't got any sand, which is obviously wrong, I guess, because we're living in a desert. We'll see about that. Sand should also be a thing. Then, let's go. I will go for a standard setup because I recently started to enjoy the challenge. So, we are also not going for any naming in this series. I'm going for random naming because, you know, whenever I start naming things manually, I go into micromanaging things too hard, and I think it plays down the dwarfiness of my series if I don't let them call their fortresses themselves OILFANGS. At least my thoughts. So here we are. Welcome to OILFANGS, my men. It doesn't look nearly as deserty as I thought it would look like. We also see a lot of saguaro. So, house rules, by the way, is also to not move magma away from where it is originating. So we're going to build our magma workshop on top of the magma, which will be a challenge, which has been one of the many reasons why Equal Board has fallen. In my humble opinion, at least, I should have done that differently. Anyways, so this is a nice spot. We're living here on a flat plains, as far as I can see. There's a couple of saguaro. See all these green blots there? It's all trees for us. And my plan is for the fort itself. I saw that these guys are calling themselves trustworthy staff, and I don't know. I had the stupid idea of building a tower that ends up like a shepherd's staff, or at least it has some sort of a crook, like a walking cane. I don't know. Maybe we do something like that. I think about that, but I still feel like building towers. I don't know why I feel like building towers with these guys so much, but I do. It's what it is. So, where do we start building? I really want to be not too far away from the brook. So I think we're not going to build that center. Nah, I'm going to go more like here. But we're still going to dig out our starting area right here from the get-go. Many things speak for that. It makes it so much easier for me to assign extra miners, to set up shop right away, and we can easily transfer our actual fortress over to the other place. It's really not a big deal. We'll be using the room that we're digging out now for other stuff later down the road. No problem. So let's start out with something like that. And let's hope that OILFANGS is going to see a better future than Equal Board did. The attack of the lycanthropes has... well, it was the first fort that I lost to lycanthropes, and it's, like they all say, losing is fun. I enjoyed it. I was really, it was fun to look how everything went down and such, but at the same time, it was fun once. Let's not do it again. First of all, let's just dump all our belongings down here. The stuff on the wagon should always be dumped somewhere. First we set up all, then we disable wood and stone. Refuse and corpses are disabled by themselves, and I think this should do the trick. Just want to make sure that none of the critters here, the local critters, will take away our stuff. Speaking about local critters, a great horned owl and a desert tortoise. Oh, well, that doesn't sound too dangerous to me. Let's chop down some of the saguaro and start working here. There we go. Saguaro ribwood is not bountiful, as you see. You chop down one of these bad boys and you only get 2 little clumplings of wood out of that. This is really not much. But we're gonna be getting there. So the first thing that I want to do now is I want to set up a carpenter's workshop. I also want to set up my filters again. Don't want to work with boulders, blocks, but yes, with bars. Alright, there we go. So, let's use the saguaro rib and get started with the stuff here. I'm really very much concerned about my neighborhood here. By the way, if you were new to this and you didn't watch Season 1, I set up this world to be at war with me, so every civilization on the planet is hostile to us. There's nobody friendly to us except for the other dwarfs, which we have no contact with, but they should be hostile too, basically. I don't know. Obviously, we haven't had any contact. So, let's see. I want to build my actual tower more closer to the brook. So we're simply going to dig closer to the brook, you see. It's easy like that. Okay, so that should over there be our central stairway. Going to dig some chambers here that we can work with to begin with, so I'm not so lost at everything. And let's see, is this a good location? Yeah, I think so. Right on. Good. So we are going to go and see. I'm going to go. So let's see what kind of problems we will face. Ooh. The problem is not a problem, it's Shoal. And it's a gemstone. Not bad. There we go. So I do like the fact that we are already striking stone. So we can set up a stoneworker's workshop here too. Shouldn't we? Yes, I thought so. I saw that boulder. You. Alrighty. So let's see what comes when we dig deeper. We should hit an aquiferous layer rather sooner than later. Let's see. Not there yet. Since this is going to be the main staircase for the city, it's all going to be good to dig this one out right away. Ooh, nice. So we have several layers of stone already available. I like that, but I don't see where we're going to find water. I don't like that. Wow. Usually, you strike the aquifers much earlier, but here, we're just striking down and down and down. We hit a new layer. Okay. I like that. No complaints here at all. The only downside is that I don't know how I'm going to irrigate my my farm spots, but well, we're going to work with that problem as follows. We're going to go and set up some preliminary farming with some foraging. I mean, we're living in the desert, so the foraging shouldn't be that plentiful, but better than nothing. So let's go for some standing orders that should be done. We will automate all these. We will don't claim other did. We're not going to let the children do chores. The farmers are the only one harvesting. Let's go for this for now. There we go. I did the same mistake I did some other day. Alright, so the preliminary farm, I don't like to do that so much, but it is obviously right now a necessary evil. We can't really go without right now. So let's make some rock blocks and do something else very important. So, Avus Breach Shields. The Craven. You know, I imagined that the queen of the of our civilization wasn't too pleased when she received the news that the new expedition leader was not to be convinced to go back and execute vengeance. So the least she could do was give him a mean name on the way. Facts, other people would call it. Anyways, just some emergent storytelling along the way. So we're getting ourselves some rock blocks, and I think this is a weird situation for me to be in, right? I am not used to have not to dig my way through aquiferous layers, so we're setting up shop like that. It's not the most efficient way to do this, I'm very well aware of that, but at the same time, a kitchen and a still will help us out to get the basic needs of our people fulfilled, and I personally find that invaluable. So, we are going to dig our way through these areas here. Maybe we will even one day make a proper floored area out of that. I'll see to that when it's time for that. So, let's see. Kitchen-wise, we don't cook the plump helmets, because that'd destroy them, and that'd be bad. Don't cook your plump helmets. So we're going to go and farm on this patch plump helmets all year long. And the other patch will have quarry bushes, pigtail. There we go. Oh yeah, I forgot something here. Something very important. We require a farmer's workshop too. Silly old me. Let's make that happen here. So I'm trying to live up to design aesthetics as good as I can in the series. Other than my previous series, I really try to make this look like a lively fort where dwarvish people like to live in, you know? Just as a side note, and things that I think should be introduced at the beginning of a series. Alright, Avus the Craven. I love this. Good. So we got all the utmost basics down. What we are now requiring is an office. So we're going to get ourselves a throne down. Or we're not, because we're lacking boulders, obviously. So, yeah. Since this is going to be where my tower will stand, we might as well think about how the city will look like. So I have already more or less decided that we are going to go for a really mighty stairwell here. So I'm going to go for something like that. High throughput, high availability of room for many people to pass through. At least that's been the plan. But obviously not too many boulders, but just enough boulders to make a throne. Because I really need to not assign a manager. I hate the fact that we're not able to automate anything right now. It's just wrong. It's just wrong, Jurist. We need a manager. We're way too disorganized right now. I love starting out new fortresses, and it somehow never grows old on me. As much as I love to complete fortresses, losing one was also a fun experience, in all honesty. So that throne, somebody's holding that boulder from way down below. There we go. It's Zulban Tired Guilds. Hacking away on that throne. We need to relocate the Stoneworkers Workshop as soon as possible. Okay then, so we're going to set up the manager's shack over here. Get ourselves our first specialized stockpiles going. So we're going to get a seed stockpile going here. And we're going to eliminate this stockpile. And we're going to make a mixed food area over here. Obviously without seeds. Oops. And that should get something started here. So, we also need to floor this. We're using chert here. I just can't put this chair on a sand floor. Then I need to rip out the chair one day, and then I need to rebuild the chair one day. Nah. Just nah. Put some bricks on the floor, Jurist, and get it done with. Okay. Oh yeah, I forgot about the door. Shoot. So, technically you don't need to put in a door. Practically I want to. So it's a proper office already. Or at least one that I can turn into a proper office someday soon. That's the very least I can do. Okay, we got the farmer's workshop. So I'll be setting up a butcher and a tanner right away too. Then we have the utmost basics together, workshop-wise. So this hall here will then be our expeditionary food corner. Eventually I hope that I will make this all pasture area where our animals will be grazing. But one thing at a time, you see. Alright, but this is all enough to make it an office. I mean, technically just the chair itself would qualify as an office, but I don't want to do this to my poor manager. The longer I play this game, the more need I got to make things just as neat as possible, you see. I really like that. There we go. I mean, there has to be something where I can pour these hundreds of hours I'm playing this game into, skill-wise. So once you get better at this game, you're making things look nicer. It's your late-game goal. Anyways, so we are going to make ourselves some easy meals. That's what it is, right? And we're going to brew some drink. These are the very most basic things that are so important that no fort can skip them. So 200 food and 500 drink. You will always need way less food than drink, because food is just, you know, your dwarves love to drink more. Their caloric intake, they prefer it in a fluid way. The one that makes you drunk, though, not this ghastly water. Has almost no caloric intake, you see. Dwarves are misunderstood. They're not alcoholics. They just like to drink their calories. And there's almost nothing better than booze and soup. But you know, we can all agree that booze is more fun than soup, right? It's just fermented soup. Anyways, I'm digressing. We got all this down, and what I'm lacking now is a proper workshop. So, yeah. I like the idea of branching off into a workshop area right away. But first, before we do that, I want this wonderful 3-on-3 stairwell down. There we go. Then I'm going to think about how to set up shop here. I mean, this place is made to... is providing some glorious space for everything. I like it. Okay. So, I don't want to have this floor here pestered with workshops, because this one will be the floor where we set up directions where to go, where we're going to start our mining expeditions from here and such. So, I have plans, in case you didn't notice already. So we're going to make it look like that, because I like some fanciness in my designs. And on this floor, its whole goal will be to lead to the quarries and all the other places. And this here will be where it goes. And the new year begins. It's the spring of the year 257. 256 was a grim year. Equal board has fallen in that year, but a new spring rises, and with it, OILFANGS. A brave little outpost in the desert, so far at least. We're going to bind our dogs in front of the tower and let them sniff out any were creature. We're going to build a hospital that can withstand several infections as well, because the hospital was one of my major downfalls in the previous series. I have learned, and we're going to draw conclusions out of that and make it better this time. Okay, so I'll leave this hallway like that. Do we duplicate on that? I don't think so. So, let's see. There we go. It's the same, just larger. Alright, and here we're going to start our workshopping area. I'm still insecure about how to set up my city itself. The workshop area is always something that has to be built rather quickly, and therefore, you know, we have to set up shop there and get stuff going. But on the other hand, I want something cool looking. Recently, I fell in love with multi-story buildings, and yeah. We also need to think about how to connect our stoneworkers' quarter with the mine carts. You see, I'm already planning ahead on that. The idea will to ease up the hauling duties of this fort by a lot with minecart systems. Okay. So that's been dealt with. So far, I like the way this looks. So we're going to go and I'm going to carve out the first hall. You know, we have to start somewhere. So we're going to bring in a wee bit of a pattern. Leave some negative spaces to make it look cool. So maybe we'll make some negative spaces like these even. something truly fancy. There we go. Wildly impractical, but little do I care. Okay, so one of the very first things that we require are containers for the new drinks. And these are made at the Crafts Dwarf's workshop. Well, obviously we're producing a lot of chert here, so we should work with that as our first material. Tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to work like this. These workshops are going to be put here in a way that I won't be able to tolerate them. So I will have to rip them out eventually. It's a nice little trick of mine, if you want to call it like that at least, to make sure that I don't rely on these workshops too much by just making them stand out like a sore thumb, and make sure that you don't want to have them there. But I want to have my workshops close together right now, because right now we do need a lot of different things all at once. Here I'm setting up carpenter, mechanic, crafts dwarf, and stoneworker very close together, and we're now going to announce just one stockpile zone for church, nothing more, because I have so much of that stuff are currently available, and we need a lot of it. So you have to improvise sometimes. So here we're going to make the same thing. We're making a stockpile zone for furniture of all sorts. This is very, very suboptimal, but it is still much better than having no stockpile zone. And I don't want to go too detailed into any architectural things right now. We're not there yet. So I think this should work for the time being. So we're going to announce the production of rock pots. We're going to make them out of chert, and we're going to need plenty of these. Plenty of these. So another thing that I want to make sure is happening is I want to kill off some more of these nasty saguaroses. And we need also a stockpile zone for the timber, at least a small one. There we go. So that should keep my folks busy. We're now also going to order some beds. These will also be a permanent order, just because they are just so necessary. Good. So another little thing that I want to do here is we're going to order a couple of extra blocks here. Big order. I could have went on and do it via the manager now, but well. And there's this chert being stockpiled now. And things are going down in a much more orderly fashion now than when we started out. The new containers will allow my brewers here to make more booze, which will keep us alive. As weird as it is with those dwarfs, they need it quite badly. Alright, so we're going to chert up this place a little bit. Just enough to set up some beds, because I want to make a dormitory, so my brave founders of OILFANGS don't need to sleep on the ground anymore, because, you know, a couple of things are just too humiliating to endure. Cool. I mean, we do have a pretty nice start here, don't we? I like it. I really do like it. We'll have to make a lot of things still happen, like constructing some staircase upstairs. I will make it like this, though. So the basic idea here is to have a separate entrance to from the main stairwell, so we can lock it easier when necessary. But I also want to be closer to the surface like that. So my good friends, thanks for watching. I really hope that you're enjoying yourself as much as I do. I'm having a blast here because, you know, this is one of my favorite games after all. So feel free to drop me your comments, leave a like, leave a subscribe, consider checking out the description box where you will find plenty of links. Among these, a playlist link to this Season 2 specifically, or to the entire World at War playlist. I also have linked the splash art for my thumbnail, which is made by Midjourney, by me, basically. Well, it's a joint venture between the machine and me. But yeah, feel free to use them if you like them. There's no copyright on them because it's all free-made, and enjoy them if you want to. Feel free to support the channel if you feel like spending a dime or two on my work. It would mean the world for me. Many thanks to all of you who do. And many thanks again for watching this episode, and I hope you're finding some enjoyment. See you guys next time. Bye bye.